I don't like water, but I do like big things that shoot bigger things. So check this out. In World of Warships, one of my favorite low-tier cruisers is the St. Louis class. So when you take a look at the St. Louis, it's kind of a mess of a design, or at least it's a mess from a historical standpoint. The class was originally meant to be an Olympia-class protected cruiser with 8-inch guns. But partway through the ship's development, the decision was made to increase the ship's displacement from 6,000 tons to 9,700 tons. It was also decided to slap on some additional armor, but that increased the weight even more. Because of those choices, the ship's speed was severely reduced because of the additional weight. In an attempt to try and alleviate the issue, the guns were downgraded from 8-inch guns to 6-inch guns. So the ship wasn't as fast as a conventional protected cruiser, had less armor than an armored cruiser, and didn't carry the same firepower needed to take on a traditional armored cruiser. In essence, she was slow, couldn't take hits from other cruisers of the era, and couldn't deliver the same punch as her counterparts, both in the US Navy and in foreign navies. The Kriegsmarine had just commissioned the armored cruiser Furst Bismarck in 1900, and that was just as the St. Louis class was being designed. The Furst Bismarck would have been easily capable of taking on the St. Louis class of ships. Thankfully for the crews of the St. Louis class, it never came to that. There were only 3 ships of the class built: the USS Milwaukee, the USS St. Louis, and the USS Charleston. The USS Milwaukee was built on the west coast in San Francisco. In 1913, she was reactivated after a brief decommission, and in 1914 she was based in San Diego primarily as a submarine tender. Her main highlight came when she was assisting in salvaging a submarine that had ran aground in Northern California. She was under the temporary command of the vastly inexperienced Lieutenant William F. Newton. Disregarding the advice of local mariners, Newton succeeded in grounding the Milwaukee so thoroughly that she would never be recovered. A year after the grounding, a storm came up and the ship was broken too, and then her hulk was sold for scrap. The USS St. Louis and the USS Charleston served as convoy escorts, ferrying troops and supplies across the Atlantic during the First World War. The only surviving hull is that of the USS Charleston. She was ran aground and serves as a breakwater for Kelsey Bay on Vancouver Island, British Columbia. The hull is still there today, but it's barely recognizable. If the pictures had not been captioned, I wouldn't know that it was a Charleston. Now, despite all that history, the St. Louis is actually really good in World of Warships. In fact, it's one of my favorite ships, bar none. The armor is pretty negligible overall. She only has about 6 millimeters of armor around the ship, and around the Citadel, there's about 103, but that's still not going to stop a whole lot. But you don't play the ship for the armor. You play it for the amount of guns that you can bring. The St. Louis has 14 6-inch guns. Now that number at first seems like a lot, and it is. But you need to keep in mind that because this ship is a pre-World War I design, you're not going to be able to bring all of those guns to bear on the same target at one time. 2 of her 6-inch guns are turret mounted both fore and aft, but the rest are mounted in, I believe what's called casemates, and that just means that they're mounted in the side of the ship, in the armor. Now, when you're facing one target, you're going to be able to bring total 8 guns to bear, and that's good. And the guns also have a reload time of 8 seconds. You're going to be able to fire very rapidly. The chance to set a target on fire is also 7%, so that's good as well. My main strategy against battleships with this cruiser is to set the battleships on fire. You're going to do more damage burning them away over time and keeping those fires lit than you're going to do in trying to penetrate the sides of the thing. Her most valuable strength, however, is in her flexibility to switch to a different target on the other side of the ship. You don't have many turret-mounted guns, and the 2 that you do have are going to have to swivel around, and those do take more than a few seconds to get over to the other side of the ship, but you're still going to have 6-inch guns on that side of the ship waiting to fire on whatever's on the other side. So when you get that moment when a destroyer comes around the headland of an island and you're not facing that side, you can instantly switch over, change your facing direction, and just start pouring fire on them. And that will give you a big advantage over most other ships in the game. Now the secondaries are nothing to scoff at either. There are 18 76mm high explosive guns. Those don't have a very long firing range. Those are only about 2.5 kilometers. Excuse me, 2.6 kilometers. But they have a very good firing rate of 4.5 seconds, and they do shoot HE as well, so if you can actually get in range to use them, they're going to help set the target on fire as well. The AA battery might as well not even be there. There's only 8 machine guns, and those are clip-fed, and I mean that, clip-fed, not belt-fed, so you're not going to be shooting down anything. The ship has also got a very respectable rudder shift time of 6.4 seconds, so you can respond very quickly to torpedoes coming at you. That's actually a change. Playing this game back in beta and just after launch, the rudder shift time was about 8 seconds or so, and you had to be really on the ball with torpedo avoidance. Now, I'm not up to date on the different patches, and I can perhaps go into do a video of the new patches that are out now, but it seems to me that torpedoes that I'm seeing are coming in very close before I actually get the warning. So you're going to have a very good response time to try and avoid those torpedoes that you maybe see at the last second. Now the concealment on the ship is not the greatest. It has a surface detectability range of 11 kilometers, but with a speed of only 22 knots, it's unlikely that you're going to be the first target spotted anyway. But just know that you are going to be seen no matter what it is that you're going to be doing. Most likely, anyway. When you do get spotted and do start taking fire, keep in mind that the ship does have 29,500 hit points. So try to keep from being focus fired. You should do okay. Just don't sail broadside onto battleship, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. But I think I've yammered on for long enough, so let's jump into a battle and see what it is that she can do in real time. Alright, so hey, we're top tier, so that's good. I always like to see that, as I'm sure is everyone else. Only got one other battleship, the rest are cruisers and a couple destroyers, so this game is meant for the St. Louis. This is where it's really going to shine. If I get the chance, I'm going to try to hunt down as many destroyers as I can. Now, I think I'm going to be heading off to... Well, I guess it's just going to be dead ahead for me. It's going to be the right of the map. You know, it's either way. I just started over here. I don't feel like sailing all the way over to the other side. Although, when you do sail down, call it southwest, those islands in there can be really fun if you're fighting destroyers.
General quarters.
So, I'm going to be pre-aiming to the right, just because I know that's where they're going to be. I start with HE loaded and not AP. Question that you usually see from everybody is, how do you know when to switch between HE and AP? And in the St. Louis, that's a pretty simple question. Are you shooting at a battleship, a cruiser, or a destroyer? If you're shooting at a battleship or a destroyer, you should be shooting HE. If you're shooting at a cruiser, then it becomes a little bit more complicated. It'll depend on what type of armor that cruiser has. Because if the cruiser's got very good armor, then you're going to be shooting HE. If they have very poor armor, they're going to want to be shooting AP. And at tier 3, 4, and 5, you're going to be hard-pressed to, find some cruisers that are just going to put up a super stiff resistance. So that's a good hit there, set him on fire. It's going to make him use that damage repair. I'm on fire too, though, so I am as well.
The ship is on fire!
And you can see there I switched to AP. I'm hoping to get that Citadel. It's a nice hit, 4,000 some damage. A couple more like that will take him down real quick. I'm going to have to start turning to the left here pretty soon, otherwise I'm going to run into that landmass. Just gonna limit the amount of guns I can bring to bear. So I'm gonna try to take this guy out before I have to do that. That was not so good. That was only 900 damage. Next salvo. Better. I'm on fire again. Now because he's changing his angle, I went and shot one after another. Which is actually kind of fun with the St. Louis because the guns reload so quick, it's almost like a fire hose. It's actually how I try to take out destroyers if I get the chance. Go broadside onto the destroyer if I can. Oh man, come on. I wanted the kill. And that's something I always got to remind myself too. It's more about the damage that you do rather than the amount of kills that you get. You know, you could be like that, you can come in and snipe someone else's kill. Maybe you get 4 or 5 kills that way, but overall you're still not getting the same amount of XP and credits as you would be if you did all the damage. Let's see. Poor hit, another 900 damage one. Shorten up a little bit, maybe we can get that midships hit. 1500, not too bad. It looks like I'm not penetrating. Although I'm doing a fair amount of damage anyway, so I'll just keep doing that. Slow it up quite a bit. And kill number 1. Now that St. Louis looks like a good target. I prefer to shoot at the battleship, but he's out of range, so I'll shoot what I can hit. I'm going to extend out because he's picking up speed. I'm going to extend out again because he's going to pick up more speed. That's looking not good. More penetrations that time. Hit after the ship away from that armor. See how that does. Most of them went into the water. Oh, yep, and I'm about to run into the land. So I'm going to turn here. I'm going to limit the amount of guns I can put on him. I'm probably not going to get that kill. You can see that rudder shift time. Look at how quick that is. Very maneuverable ship. Let's see, can we get these in time? Yeah, there we go. Wow, I'm surprised. I forgot about that. I did not expect to get that kill. Alright, so now the battleship is in range, so we're going to switch to HE, and we're going to try to set him on fire as much as possible. He's moving real slow, so go with the short aim. And that's looking good. That'll hit him about aft to midships. Only one hit, though. And it didn't do anything. That one was better, but still not good. I need to shorten up again. Okay, we set him on fire, so hopefully he doesn't have that damage repair up yet. Another set of good hits. Torpedoes going in. I wonder if he's going to take any of those. Yeah, he took one, so that'll knock him down. And then he's on fire again. So he's taking flooding and fire damage. Look at how fast that's dropping. Another set of good hits here. And I did not get the kill, which is too bad. I was kind of disappointed by that. But with the flooding and both fire damage, I'm not surprised. It was kind of a 50-50. Now, I'm detected, but I can't see anything around, so I know it's a destroyer. And it's just a question where it's at. If it was that destroyer, which it's not, I'm not going to get the kill there either. It's too far away. Had to try, though. So we're going to push up between these two islands here and try to get into the thick of the fight before the game's over. Alright, I'm detected again. Here we are. That's more than likely the person that's doing it. So because he's dead on to me, I'm going to fire one at a time. That was a poor showing, but usually that is more accurate and easier to hit him. Still off to the right, although he turned into it, so thank you for that.
Our team has taken the lead.
Kaboom.
We've sunk
Devastating
an enemy
strike.
destroyer.
I penetrated the magazine. That's always a good feeling when you get that. Alright, so look at that. Base off here. I do not have premium, so I got 91,680 credits, 1,752 experience, and 88 free experience. Also with that, I got the Devastating Strike achievement, and we did 41,994 points worth of damage. We set 3 fires and we sunk 3 ships and got 81 hits. That's huge. So let's take a look at our stats here. We were at the top, so that's always a good feeling. Kind of went in and raffle stomped him. Alright, and this is where it gets really interesting. So that St. Louis that we saw, we did 10,840 damage. And where's that destroyer? We only killed 1 destroyer, so... We only did 300 damage with one of those shots. It was the second salvo I missed, so with that third salvo, we did the majority of that 5,000 damage. I love it. I love it. Please keep feeding me those. And then, let's see. To the battleship. Okay, the battleship, we did 7,545 damage. With setting 3 fires, we did 4,324 points of damage with them. And we got 4,096 spotting damage. And the ship took about 9,841 damage received. So, you know, we did pretty good there. We only lost 1 damage module, and it wasn't permanently, so we were able to get that back up. So overall, a really good showing, and a really good example of the potential of this ship. If you're on the fence at any way of playing the American cruiser line, just get to the St. Louis. It takes no time at all, and then you just have this ship just to play around with, and it's just fun. You know, when you get up to the higher tiers and you're in that, you know, hard grind trying to get up to that next ship that you want real bad, this is a really good palate cleanser. Be like, okay, well, I've been trying to work for these achievements, I've been trying to do that. Well, I'm just going to come back down here, and with the St. Louis, we just have some fun. So I love this ship. I can't say enough good about it. Alright, so I think that's going to do it for today's video. I really enjoyed making this one. It was a lot of fun to look up the history on the St. Louis, and I look forward to doing more of these in the future. If you guys have any ships that you want to see specifically, please message me and leave a comment down below. Also, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video as well. I don't have all of the ships unlocked from the different nations, so if it's something, you know, at the top of the German tech tree, or any of the new tech trees like UK, or any of the others, it's going to take a while for me to get up there, but let me know what ship you want to see, and I think in the future I'm going to do a lot of American battleship videos, because those are the ones that I have primarily unlocked. Again, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That helps out my channel a great deal. And especially so if you want to see more videos like these. And I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Peace!